Welcome to Quiet Hours. This is a quiet place to rest your mind, to soften the day, and to drift gently toward sleep. You don't need to do anything here. You don't need to fix anything. Just listening is enough. If it feels comfortable, allow your eyes to close. And if they don't, that's perfectly fine too. Take a slow breath in through the nose and let it fall away gently through the mouth. There's nowhere else you need to be, nothing you need to solve. Tonight's story is here to keep you company as your body finds its own natural rhythm of rest. Tonight's story is calm and unhurried, so settle in, soften your shoulders, and when you're ready, we'll begin. There is a house at the end of a quiet street, not the very end, but close enough that most people forget it's there. It sits back from the road, behind an old stone wall that's covered in ivy. The ivy has been there so long that it's become part of the wall itself, growing into the cracks, softening the edges, making something that was once hard look gentle now. The house itself is neither large nor small, just the right size for one person. It has windows that catch the afternoon light and a door that's painted a color somewhere between blue and gray, the kind of color that changes depending on the weather, the time of day, your mood. And in this house lives someone known only as the collector. Not many people know the collector's real name. Perhaps they simply forgot to use it after so many years of being called by what they do rather than who they are. Names are just words anyway. And words change meaning over time. What matters more is what someone collects, what they keep, what they hold dear. Tonight, as the day fades into evening, as the light softens and the world grows quiet, you find yourself walking down that quiet street, not rushing, not searching, just walking, the way you sometimes walk when your body needs to move, when your mind needs the rhythm of steps to quiet itself, when you need to feel your feet on the ground, one after the other, making contact with the earth, reminding you that you exist, that you're here, that you're alive. You don't remember deciding to come here. You just found yourself on this street, your feet knowing where to go. Even if your mind didn't plan it, sometimes the body knows things the mind doesn't. Sometimes your feet will lead you where you need to be, if you let them, if you trust them. And tonight, you're trusting them. The street is empty as you walk. Most people are inside now. The workday is done. Commutes are over. Dinner is being prepared or eaten or cleaned up after. Families are gathering in their homes. Lights are coming on in windows. People are settling into their evening routines. That time between day and night when the world pauses when the energy shifts, when everything becomes a little softer, a little quieter, a little more introspective, a little more turned inward. The street lamps are just beginning to glow. That soft yellow light, warm and gentle, not harsh like fluorescent, not cold like LED, but that old-fashioned warm glow. The kind that makes everything look like a memory, like something from long ago, like something from a time when things moved slower, when there was time to notice, time to be present, time to rest. The lamps flicker on gradually, so slowly you don't notice it happening. One moment the world is light, daylight. The next moment you realize these pools of warm light have appeared, these circles of illumination marking your way, guiding your path, not bright, not demanding, just present, just there, just enough. Your feet carry you forward, one step at a time, left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. A rhythm so simple, so basic, and yet somehow profound, somehow meditative. The simple act of putting one foot in front of the other, moving through space, moving through time, moving through this evening towards something you didn't know you were looking for. You're wearing comfortable shoes, nothing fancy, just shoes that let you walk without thinking about it, without your feet hurting, without any discomfort drawing your attention down, just the gentle rhythm of walking, the soft sound of your footsteps, quiet on the pavement, not loud, not intrusive, just present. And you notice things as you walk, because that's what happens when you slow down, when you stop rushing, when you allow yourself to simply be present, to be here, to notice what's around you, to see, really see. You notice the way the sidewalk is uneven in places, where tree roots have pushed up through the concrete over the years, over decades, slow, patient, persistent, the way nature always is, taking its time, never stopping, never giving up, just growing, just being, just following its own deep wisdom, its own ancient knowing that says, I will grow, I will push up, I will find the light no matter what's in my way, no matter how long it takes. You step carefully over one of these raised sections, your foot lifting, your body adjusting, your balance shifting. Small adjustments that happen automatically, that your body knows how to make without you thinking about it. You notice the cracks in the sidewalk, some of them wide, some of them narrow, some of them filled with moss now, bright green moss, that somehow found a way to grow here, in this unlikely place, in this small space between concrete, finding water somewhere, finding nutrients somewhere, finding a way to live, to thrive even in the most unlikely places, the way life always does, the way life always finds a way. You notice how the moss is softer than the concrete, how it yields under your foot, how it's almost like walking on something alive, which, of course, you are. You are walking on something alive. This moss that grows, that breathes, that exists, that shares this moment with you. You notice the sounds around you, a bird calling somewhere in the distance, not urgently, just marking the end of the day. The rustle of leaves in a tree you pass, a gentle movement, a whisper of wind, and beneath it all, silence. Not empty silence, but full silence, the kind that holds space for rest. You continue walking, and ahead of you, you see the old stone wall, covered in ivy. It looks almost as if it's been there forever, as if it grew from the earth itself, rather than being built by human hands. You slow your steps as you approach it, not because you're uncertain, but because something about this place invites slowness, invites attention, invites you to notice. There's a gate in the wall, small and wooden, weathered by time and rain and sun. It's slightly open, not wide, just enough that you can see through into the garden beyond. You pause at the gate, your hand resting on the smooth wood. It's warm from the day's sun, real, solid, comforting somehow. You look through the opening into the garden. It's not what you expected. Not neat rows of flowers, not perfectly manicured hedges, but something wilder, more natural. Plants growing where they choose to grow, following their own wisdom. There are flowers here. You can see their shapes in the fading light, some tall, some low to the ground. Their colors muted now in the evening, but still beautiful, still present. And between the plants, a path made of flat stones, worn smooth by years of walking, leading toward the house. You push the gate open a little further. It moves easily, silently. The hinges well-oiled, well-maintained, cared for, as if someone wanted this gate to always open smoothly, to always welcome visitors without creaking, without resistance, without complaint, just opening, just allowing, just inviting. And you step through into the garden, from the public space of the street into the private space of the garden, from one world to another. The moment you do, something shifts, not dramatically, not obviously, not in a way that startles you, but subtly, quietly, like stepping from one room into another, like crossing a threshold, like moving from outside to inside, even though you're still outside, still under the open sky, still surrounded by air and evening light. But something is different. The air feels different here, calmer somehow, stiller, quieter, as if this space exists slightly apart from the world outside, as if the walls create more than just a physical boundary, as if they create a boundary in time, in energy, in quality, making this space feel slower, gentler, more forgiving, more patient, more kind. You stand there for a moment, just inside the gate, not moving forward yet, just standing, just being, letting yourself arrive, really arrive, not just physically, though your body is here, but arrive in all the ways that matter. Your attention arriving, your awareness arriving, your presence arriving, letting your body adjust to this new space, letting your breath adjust, letting your heart rate slow, letting your mind settle. There's no rush, no pressure to keep moving, no pressure to do anything. You can take your time. You can simply be here in this moment, in this garden, in this in-between space, between the street and the house, between day and night, between motion and stillness, just being, just breathing, just noticing. The scent of the garden reaches you, not all at once, but gradually as your awareness expands, as you become more present, more here, not overwhelming, not perfumed, not artificial, but natural earth, the smell of soil, rich and dark and alive, the smell of countless tiny organisms breaking down, building up, creating, sustaining, the endless cycle of life in soil, the smell of growing things, green, chlorophyll, life, plants breathing, plants growing, plants being what they are, something faintly sweet, not strong, not cloying, but gentle, like flowers that bloom only in the evening, that release their fragrance when the sun goes down, when the heat of the day fades, when the pollinators they're trying to attract become active, night-blooming flowers, quiet, unassuming during the day, invisible almost, but generous with their sweetness once darkness arrives, once the world grows quiet, once there's space for subtlety, for gentleness, for things that don't shout. You breathe it in, slowly, deeply, not forcing it, not gulping, just allowing the breath to come, allowing your lungs to fill all the way to the bottom, all the way to the places that don't usually get filled, because you don't usually breathe this deeply. You don't usually take the time. You don't usually slow down enough, but here now you do. You breathe in the scent of earth and growing things. You breathe in the evening air, cool now, refreshing, clean, and as you exhale, you feel your shoulders drop just a little, just a small release of tension. Tension you didn't even know you were carrying, but it's there. It's always there, living in your shoulders, in your neck, in your jaw, waiting for a moment like this, a moment of permission, a moment of safety, a moment to let go. You begin to walk along the path, following the flat stones. Each one is slightly different from the last, different sizes, different shapes, but all worn smooth, all waiting patiently to hold your weight. Your footsteps are quiet here, Almost silent, the stones absorb the sound somehow. Or maybe it's the moss growing between them, soft green moss that fills the gaps, that cushions your steps, that makes everything gentler. As you walk, you notice the garden more closely, the way the plants lean toward each other, as if they're in quiet conversation, as if they're keeping each other company through the night, the way shadows are gathering in the spaces between them, soft darkness, gentle and welcoming, not threatening, just natural, just the absence of light creating its own kind of presence. You notice small things, things you might miss if you were walking faster, if you were walking with purpose, but you're not. You're walking to walk, to be here, to notice. A spider's web stretched between two stems, barely visible, just the faintest suggestion of silk, catching what little light remains. Perfect, geometric, built by instinct and patience. A single dewdrop clinging to a leaf, round, catching the last light, holding it like a tiny jewel. You pause to look at it more closely, at how it reflects the world in miniature, the sky, the garden, everything compressed into this tiny sphere of water, this temporary thing that will be gone by morning, but for now exists, beautiful, perfect, complete. The path curves gently, leading you around a large rosemary bush. You can smell it as you pass, that sharp, clean scent, grounding, clarifying. It reminds you that you're here, present, in this moment, in this garden, on this path. The house is closer now. You can see it more clearly. The blue-gray door, the windows reflecting the evening sky, a soft light glowing from somewhere inside, warm, inviting, not bright, just enough to say you're welcome here. As you approach the house, you notice other things. A bench beneath one of the windows, wood worn smooth by weather and time, a watering can beside the door, old copper, turned green with age. These things weren't placed here for decoration. They're here because they're used, because they're part of life here, simple, necessary, real. You reach the door and you pause, your hand raised to knock, hovering in the air. You can see the wood grain of the door up close. Now, the way it's weathered, the way the blue-gray paint has worn in places, showing the wood beneath, showing the history of this door, of all the times it's been opened and closed, of all the seasons it's endured, of all the people who have passed through it. But before your knuckles can touch the wood, before you can make that sound, the door opens slowly, smoothly, quietly, as if it was expecting you, as if it knew you were there. And there in the doorway, backlit by the warm glow from inside, stands the collector. They're neither young nor old, or perhaps they're both at once, or perhaps age doesn't apply to them in the usual way. It's hard to say. Their face is kind. That's the first thing you notice. The very first thing, kind in a way that goes deep. That's not just surface politeness, not just social nicety, but genuine warmth, genuine care, lines around the eyes, the kind that come from smiling, from laughing, from spending time in the sun with eyes slightly squinted, from decades of expressing joy, lines around the mouth, the kind that come from talking, from speaking, from expressing emotions, from living a life fully. Their hair is gray, or maybe silver, or maybe white with hints of the color it used to be. Some brown still visible, some darker strands among the light. It's pulled back simply, nothing fancy, just functional, just tied back or pinned up out of the way so they can work, can garden, can live without hair in their face. They're wearing simple clothes, natural fibers, linen perhaps, or cotton, things that breathe, things that move easily with the body, things that don't restrict or confine, colors that blend with the evening light, soft browns, muted greens, gentle grays, earth tones, colors that don't demand attention, that don't shout or compete, that simply exist quietly, comfortably, naturally, and they're looking at you, really looking at you, not through you, not past you, but at you, seeing you, not with surprise, not with confusion or concern, but with recognition, as if they've been expecting you, as if they knew you would come, though you didn't know yourself. Though you didn't plan this, though you just found yourself walking here, walking to this door at this moment, somehow they knew, or perhaps they're always ready, always expecting someone, always open to whoever arrives, and they're not surprised. They smile just slightly, just a small uplift at the corners of their mouth, a softening around the eyes, not a big smile, not a performative smile, just a genuine expression of welcome, of recognition, of invitation, and they step back, moving smoothly, gracefully, opening the space, creating room for you to enter, their hand gesturing slightly, palm up, inviting, not commanding, not demanding, just offering, just saying without words, "You're welcome here. Come in, rest." A wordless invitation, an offer made with gesture and presence, not insistent, not urgent, just there, available, patient, if you choose to accept it, and you do, without thinking, without questioning, without hesitation, you accept, you step forward, lifting your foot, crossing the threshold, from the garden into the house, from outside to inside, from one world to another. And as you cross that boundary, as your foot touches the floor inside, everything shifts again, subtly, quietly, but unmistakably. You're somewhere else now, somewhere different, somewhere special. Inside, the light is soft, coming from lamps placed here and there, not too bright, just enough to see by, just enough to feel safe. The air smells faintly of old books, of wood, of time passing slowly. It's warm here, not hot, just warm enough to feel comfortable, to feel held. The collector closes the door behind you gently and gestures toward the interior of the house. You follow their gesture, looking around for the first time, and what you see takes your breath away, not because it's grand, but because it's extraordinary in its ordinariness. Every surface is covered with objects, not cluttered, but carefully arranged, each thing placed with intention, with care, on the shelves that line the walls, on the tables scattered throughout the room, on the windowsills, on the mantel above a fireplace where embers glow softly. Objects, so many objects, and yet each one feels necessary, each one belongs. You move closer to one of the shelves, looking at what's there. Stones, smooth river stones in different colors, gray, brown, white, with veins of darker minerals running through them. You reach out slowly, carefully, and pick one up. It's cool in your hand, smooth, heavier than you expected, dense, solid, real. You run your thumb across its surface, feeling the perfection of it, the result of years of water flowing over it, of sand polishing it, of patience. Each one has been touched by water for years, decades, perhaps centuries. Each one has traveled from somewhere, been carried by currents, rolled by waves, until it came to rest on some shore where the collector found it, picked it up, brought it here. Each one has a story, though they can't tell it. You place the stone back gently where it belongs. Next to the stones, a collection of keys, old keys, so many keys, iron keys with elaborate tops, scrollwork and designs that serve no purpose except beauty. Small brass keys, simple, functional, keys that once opened doors, opened locks, opened boxes, opened secrets, but now they don't open anything. Their locks are gone, lost, destroyed, forgotten, but the keys remain, and they're beautiful, each one a small sculpture, each one a work of art. Even if that wasn't the intention, they're beautiful. And someone recognized that. Someone kept them. Someone said, even though you no longer serve your original purpose, you still matter. You're still worth keeping. You move to another shelf. This one holds bottles. Glass bottles in different shapes and sizes. Some are empty. Clear glass that catches the light, colored glass, green, brown, blue, each one a different shape, tall and thin, short and round, square, oval, and some of the bottles contain things, sand from different beaches. You can tell by the varying colors, white sand, so fine it's almost like powder, golden sand, the color of honey in sunlight, pink sand, tinted by coral, by tiny shells ground down over millennia, black sand, volcanic, from beaches near volcanoes, near the places where earth becomes new. Each bottle labeled with a date, a place, a memory captured and kept. You lean closer, reading one of the labels. Cape Cod, August 1987. Simple, clear, and suddenly that sand isn't just sand. It's a moment, it's a place, it's a day in August over 30 years ago when the collector was there on that beach, under that sky, and they took a handful of sand and kept it. And there are other things, so many other things. Feathers, bird feathers of different sizes and colors, arranged in a frame behind glass, not killed for. You can tell somehow these were found, gifted by birds who no longer needed them, left behind after molting, after the seasons changed, each feather different, some large and bold, some small and delicate, some striped, some solid, browns and grays and blacks and whites, each one beautiful in its own way. Seashells, of course there are seashells, arranged in a bowl on another shelf. White shells, pink shells, shells with spirals, shells with ridges, each one different, each one the former home of some creature, some living thing that built this house of calcium, that lived in it, that grew in it, that eventually moved on, leaving the shell behind, empty but still beautiful, still worthy, still here. Pieces of driftwood worn smooth by the ocean, by waves and salt and time, shaped into forms that suggest things. Faces perhaps, animals perhaps, or just abstract beauty, just interesting shapes. Just pieces of wood that the collector found, looked at, and thought, yes, this is worth keeping. Old bottles with embossed letters, raised glass that spells out names of companies long gone, products long discontinued, but the bottles remain beautiful in their obsolescence. Buttons in jars, so many buttons, sorted by color, by size. Mother of pearl buttons gleaming, wood buttons simple and honest, metal buttons in brass and silver. Each one once held something closed, once served a purpose, and maybe they will again. Or maybe they're just here now, just being buttons, just existing, postcards stacked in neat piles, tied with ribbon, old postcards with handwriting on them, messages sent long ago from people to other people. Small moments of connection preserved on cardstock. You turn to look at the collector. They're watching you patiently, waiting for you to see, to understand, and slowly you begin to. This isn't just a collection of random objects. This is a collection of moments, of experiences, of beauty noticed and preserved. Each object represents a time when the collector stopped, looked, saw something worth keeping, worth remembering, not because it was valuable, but because it was meaningful. The collector moves to a chair, an old armchair covered in fabric that's faded with time. They sit down slowly, as if their bones know this chair, as if they've sat here 1,000 times before. They gesture to another chair nearby, inviting you to sit, and you do. The chair is comfortable, more comfortable than you expected, more comfortable than any chair has a right to be. It holds you gently, supporting your weight without resistance, without complaint, without any sense of strain. You sink into it, not suddenly, but gradually, your weight settling, your body finding its place, the cushion giving way beneath you, conforming to your shape, supporting you exactly where you need support, yielding exactly where you need softness, feeling your body relax, feeling muscles you didn't know were tight begin to soften, feeling the day begin to fall away, layer by layer, moment by moment, breath by breath. For a moment, neither of you speaks. The silence is easy, natural, comfortable, the kind of silence that exists between people who don't need words, who are comfortable just being, just existing in the same space, the same moment, the same quality of quiet. You can hear things in the silence, small sounds that become noticeable, that have space to exist. The soft crackle of embers in the fireplace, a small sound, gentle, the sound of wood becoming ash, of fire doing its slow work, of heat radiating, of warmth spreading through the room, the distant ticking of a clock somewhere in another room, maybe upstairs, maybe down a hallway. You can't see it, but you can hear it, regular, steady, reliable, marking time, or perhaps just existing, just ticking, because that's what clocks do. Not demanding attention, not insisting on anything, just being, just present, your own breathing, slow now, slower than it was when you were walking, deeper, fuller, your body settling into this chair, into this room, into this moment, into rest, even, peaceful, each breath coming without effort, each breath going without resistance, just breathing, just living, just being here. And beneath all of that, beneath the crackle and the ticking and the breathing, there's another kind of silence, a deeper silence, the silence that holds all the sounds, the space between them, the canvas on which they exist. And that silence is full, not empty, full of presence, full of peace, full of the quality of this moment, this house, this evening, this gentle, quiet, sacred time. And then, quietly, the collector begins to speak. Their voice is soft, gentle, like the sound of wind moving through tall grass, like the sound of water over smooth stones. They say, "Mace." Everything here has a story, a pause. Not all stories need to be told, but they exist nonetheless. Each object carries its own history, its own journey to this house, to this shelf, to this moment. You listen, not trying to understand everything, just listening, letting the words wash over you like rain, like music. The collector continues. That stone there, they point to a particularly smooth gray stone on the nearest shelf. I found it on a beach 30 years ago, maybe more now. Time blurs after a while. It was winter, the coldest winter in decades. Everyone said so, and I was walking alone on an empty beach, trying to clear my mind, trying to find some peace, trying to understand something I can't even remember now, some problem that seemed so important then. And I was walking, and the wind was cold, and the waves were loud, and I looked down, and there it was, this stone, perfect, smooth. The waves had just left it. The sand around it was still wet, and I picked it up, cold in my hand, so cold it almost burned, but somehow comforting, somehow exactly what I needed in that moment. This smooth, cold, perfect stone, and whatever I was worrying about, whatever problem I was trying to solve, it didn't matter anymore. Not in the presence of this stone, this ancient stone that had been in that ocean for who knows how long, being smoothed, being shaped, being patient. I've carried it with me ever since, not in my pocket, but here where I can see it, where I can remember that day, that beach, that moment of peace. Another pause, longer this time. You can hear the clock ticking, the embers shifting, your own heartbeat, calm, steady. This key, they point to one of the old iron keys, the one with elaborate scrollwork on top. I don't remember what it opened. I found it in an old house I lived in years ago, decades ago now, hidden behind a loose board in the closet. I was doing some repair work, something minor, and I pulled back this board, and there it was, this key hidden deliberately. Someone put it there on purpose. Someone hid it for a reason I'll never know. Maybe they lost the locket fit. Maybe they wanted to keep something locked forever. Maybe they just didn't know what else to do with it, but they hid it behind that board. And then they moved away or passed away, and the house was sold and sold again and sold again until eventually I lived there and I found it, this key, waiting, and I kept it, not because it opens anything, it doesn't, but because it reminds me that there are always secrets, always mysteries, always things we'll never know. Locked doors will never open, answers we'll never find, and that's okay. that's actually beautiful in its own way. We don't need to know everything. We don't need to understand everything. Some things can remain mysterious, and we can still be okay. We can still have peace. You nod slowly, though they might not see it in the soft light. But it doesn't matter, because understanding passes between you without words. The sand in that bottle, they point to a bottle with golden sand, glowing slightly in the lamplight. That's from the first beach I ever saw as a child. I was 6 years old, maybe 7, young enough that everything was new, everything was magical, everything was possible, and I'd never seen the ocean before. I didn't even know what it was, really. My parents tried to explain it, but how do you explain vastness to a child? How do you describe something that big? So I didn't understand until I saw it, and then I understood immediately, in a way that wasn't about words, in a way that was just feeling, just awe. It was big, so big I couldn't see the end of it, and loud, the waves crashing over and over, a rhythm that had been going on forever, that would keep going forever, and full of light, so much light reflecting off the water. It hurt my eyes at first, but in a good way, in a way that made me feel alive, made me feel small, but not in a bad way. Small in a way that was freeing, small in a way that meant I didn't have to be everything. I could just be one small person on one small beach, looking at something vast, something that had been there long before me and would be there long after. And I took a handful of sand, just reached down and grabbed it, put it in my pocket, felt it there all day, gritty and real, and I've kept it ever since. Not because the sand is special, not because it's different from any other sand, but because that moment was special. That moment of seeing something vast for the first time. That moment of understanding how small I was and how that was okay, how that was even good. The collector leans back in their chair, their eyes half closed now, as if they're seeing these memories, reliving them, not with sadness, but with gentle acknowledgement. This is what was. This is what is. This is what will always be, in memory, in objects, in moments preserved. You feel your own eyes growing heavy, not from boredom, but from comfort, from safety, from the deep relaxation that comes from being in a place where you don't need to perform, don't need to pretend, can just be. The collector's voice continues, even softer now, almost a whisper, but you can still hear it, clear and warm. People think collecting is about having things, about accumulating, about owning, about possession, about getting more and more, always more, never enough. But it's not. It's not about that at all. It never was. It's about noticing, about paying attention, about seeing something in the world, really seeing it, not just glancing at it, not just acknowledging it exists, but truly seeing it and saying, yes, yes, this matters, this moment, this object, this beauty, this small, perfect thing. It matters enough to keep, to remember, to honor, to give a place in my home, in my life, in my heart. Not because it's valuable in money, not because someone else thinks it's important, not because it will impress anyone, but because it touched something in me, because it meant something to me, because it represents a moment when I was fully present, fully here, fully alive, fully aware of being alive. And I want to remember that. I want to keep that. I want to honor that moment, not trap it, not possess it, but acknowledge it, give it space, let it continue to exist in this object, in this stone, this key, this handful of sand. A long pause. You can hear the wind outside now, gentle against the windows, not harsh, just present, reminding you that there's a world out there, but here, inside, you're safe, you're warm, you're at rest. The secret, the collector says quietly, the secret isn't what I collect. The secret is why, and the why is simple. I collect moments. I collect evidence that I was here, that I noticed, that I saw beauty even in small things, especially in small things. A stone, a key, a handful of sand. These aren't valuable, but they're priceless because they remind me that life is made of moments, and moments are made of noticing, and noticing is made of presence, of being here now fully. You understand, not with your mind, but with something deeper, some part of you that doesn't need explanation, that simply knows. Your body feels heavy now, pleasantly heavy. The chair supporting you completely, your hands resting in your lap or by your sides, wherever they feel comfortable. Your legs relaxed, your feet flat on the floor, grounded, held. Your breathing has slowed, each breath deep, full, easy, in through your nose, out through your mouth, no effort, no control, just breath happening the way it's meant to. The collector's voice is almost inaudible now, just a whisper, just a presence, but still there, still comforting. You don't need to collect things, not if you don't want to. You just need to notice, to pay attention, to see the world around you, really see it. The way light falls on a wall, the way shadows move, the way a single leaf trembles in the breeze. These things are free. These things are everywhere. These things are yours if you choose to notice them. Another pause, longer now. The room is so quiet, so still, you can barely hear the clock anymore. Or maybe you've just stopped listening for it, your attention turning inward, toward the soft darkness behind your closed eyes, toward the gentle rhythm of your own body, resting, relaxing, letting go. The secret is simple. The collector's voice is barely a breath now. The secret is presence. The secret is now. The secret is this moment, and this one, and this one, each one mattering, each one enough, each one a treasure, if you choose to see it that way. Silence, complete silence, except for the distant sound of the wind and your own breathing, slow, deep, steady. You don't open your eyes. You don't need to. You can feel the warmth of the room, the safety of this space, the presence of the collector nearby, not watching you, just being, just existing in the same moment. Two people in a quiet house at the end of a quiet street, resting together in companionable silence. Time passes. You're not sure how much. It doesn't matter. Time is different here. Slower, gentler, more forgiving. You feel yourself drifting, not away from this place, but deeper into it, deeper into rest, into a state that's not quite sleep, but not quite waking either. That space between, that liminal place, that threshold where the mind finally stops trying, stops working, stops planning, stops worrying, where the body finally releases completely every muscle, every fiber, every cell, letting go, where rest becomes the only thing that exists, the only thing that matters. Your jaw is completely relaxed now, your tongue resting gently in your mouth, your teeth not touching, your forehead smooth, no tension between your brows, no lines of worry or concentration, just smooth skin, relaxed muscles, peace. Your eyes are still, not moving beneath the lids, just resting, just being closed, just allowing darkness. Your neck is soft, your shoulders have dropped so far now, further than you thought possible, further than they've been in days, maybe weeks. Your chest rises and falls so slowly, so gently, without effort, without thought, just breath, just life continuing. Your arms are heavy, like they're made of something denser than flesh, like they're anchored to the chair, to the earth. Your hands are warm, resting wherever they fell, palms up or palms down. It doesn't matter, they're at peace. Your back is supported, every part of your spine, every vertebra, held by the chair, held by the moment. Your hips sink into the cushion. Your legs are completely relaxed, heavy, still, at rest. Your feet on the floor, grounded, connected to the earth, to this place, to this moment. And in this complete relaxation, in this complete surrender, you understand something, the collector's secret. It's not about the objects. It never was. It's about the act of noticing, the act of caring, the act of being present, the act of saying, "This matters, this moment matters, this beauty matters, this life matters," not in a loud way, not in a way that needs to be announced, but quietly, personally, intimately. And as you drift deeper into rest, into the soft darkness of approaching sleep, you carry this understanding with you, not as words anymore, not as thoughts, but as a feeling, a knowing deep in your bones, deep in your being, deeper than language, deeper than thought, a knowing that will be there when you wake, that will stay with you, that will change how you see the world, even in small ways, even in quiet ways, the most important ways. You're safe here, in this chair, in this room, in this house, the collector's presence nearby, silent now, perhaps resting too, perhaps simply being. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you're here, and here is exactly where you need to be. Your body is completely relaxed now, every muscle soft, every joint loose, every breath coming without effort. You're held by the chair, by the room, by the moment, by presence itself. And the secret, the collector's secret, it's yours now too. Not something you learned, but something you remembered, something you always knew, but perhaps forgot in the rush of days, in the noise of life. But here, in this quiet, in this gentle space, you remember life is made of moments, and moments are made of noticing, and noticing is made of being here now fully, without resistance, without effort, just being. Your thoughts begin to drift, not racing anymore, not spinning, not grabbing at you, not demanding attention, just drifting like clouds moving slowly across a calm sky, like leaves floating on still water, like smoke rising in windless air. They come, one thought, then another, but they don't stay. They don't demand anything. They don't require you to do anything about them. They just pass, moving through your mind, like visitors passing through a room, just passing, just moving, just going wherever thoughts go when we let them, and you watch them go without judgment, without trying to hold on, without trying to push away, without trying to change them or fix them or understand them, just watching, just observing, just letting them be, just letting them move, just letting them go, without effort, without strain, without anything except gentle awareness, gentle acceptance, gentle allowing. The room is growing quieter somehow, or maybe it's your awareness that's growing quieter. Maybe the sounds haven't changed. Maybe you've changed. Maybe you've settled so deeply into rest that everything feels more distant now, more remote, as if you're sinking down, down below the surface of waking, down into the deeper layers, the quieter layers, the layers where rest lives, where sleep waits, where peace exists. The fire in the fireplace. You can still sense it, but it's far away now. The warmth is still there, still present, still holding this space, but it's not demanding your attention. It's just being, just existing, just offering what it offers without needing anything in return. The clock has stopped ticking, or you've stopped hearing it, or it doesn't matter anymore. Time has become irrelevant, unnecessary. Here in this deep rest, in this gentle darkness, there is no time, there is only now. And now is not measured in seconds or minutes or hours. Now is just this moment, this breath, this being, this rest. And it's enough, more than enough. It's everything. You feel yourself sinking even deeper, if that's possible. But it is. There's always deeper, always more rest, always more letting go, always more softening, always more peace. Into the chair, through the chair, into yourself, through yourself, into rest, through rest, into something beyond rest, into pure being, into pure presence, into pure peace. Your body is so relaxed now, so completely relaxed, so totally at ease. Every part of you surrendered, every part of you released, every part of you at peace. Your face is smooth, no tension anywhere. Your forehead like still water, your eyes still beneath the lids, not moving, not searching, just resting, just closed, just peaceful. Your jaw completely slack, your tongue resting softly in your mouth, your throat open and easy, your neck so soft, supporting your head but without any strain, without any holding, just allowing, just being. Your shoulders, they've dropped so far, so completely. They feel like they're melting into the chair, into the earth, into peace. Your chest rising and falling, so slowly now, so gently, each breath barely noticeable, each breath just happening, not being done, not being controlled, just happening. The way breath happens when you're deeply asleep, when your body is taking care of itself, when you're not thinking about it, when you're not trying, when you're just being. Your arms so heavy now, like they're made of stone, like they're part of the chair, part of the earth, completely relaxed, completely still, completely at peace. Your hands warm and soft, resting wherever they fell, not holding anything, not grasping anything, not needing anything. Just being hands, just resting, just peaceful. Your back fully supported, every part of your spine, every vertebra held by this chair, held by this moment, held by this rest. Your hips sinking deep into the cushion, your weight fully given over, fully surrendered, fully released. Your legs so relaxed, so heavy, so completely at rest. No tension anywhere, No holding, no bracing, just legs, just being, just peace. Your feet still on the floor, still connected, still grounded, but softly now, gently, not holding you up anymore, not supporting you, just touching, just connecting, just being feet on floor, on earth, grounded, safe. Home and somewhere far away now, so far you can barely hear it. The collector's presence, still there, still with you, but distant now, as if they're in another room, another world, or maybe you're in another world, a world of rest, a world of peace, a world where nothing needs to happen, where nothing needs to change, where everything is exactly as it should be, where you are exactly where you need to be, doing exactly what you need to do, which is nothing. Nothing except rest, nothing except be, nothing except this. And the secret, the collector's secret, it's not about the objects anymore. It's not about anything external. It's about this moment, this presence, this being here, this complete, total, absolute presence, this noticing, this caring, this saying yes, yes to this moment, yes to this breath, yes to this rest, yes to this peace, yes to life, yes to being alive, yes to being here, now, fully, completely, without reservation, without holding back, without protecting anything, without defending anything. Just yes, just this, just now, just rest. You feel yourself letting go, gently, softly. 會聲音啊，Cranes。The collector's house holds you, not with force, but with presence. It simply exists around you, and you exist within it, and that's enough. Rest now. Let the house hold you. Let the chair support you. Let the quiet surround you. You're safe here. You're held here. You can rest here. And so you do, gently, slowly, into the deep, quiet space of sleep. The collector's house will be here always, whenever you need to return. For now, rest, just rest. Softly, quietly. Into the night. Sleep isn't something to chase. It arrives in its own gentle way, when the body feels safe enough and the mind feels allowed to soften. So for now, the breath can stay slow, the room can stay quiet, and you can simply be here,